Howdy everyone, and welcome to the final lesson on District 9, Analysing Film Language. What I'd like you to do for the starter is to list what the film language features are for film studies. Pause the video. Okay, so the film language features are cinematography, so the camera angles and shot types and what they suggest. You've got sound, so you've got non-diegetic and diegetic sound. You've got non-diegetic, which is music that is played over the top, for example, or it could be a heartbeat played over the top for only the audience to hear, or it could be diegetic music, which is music that the characters can hear. Okay, for example, if there's an instrument on screen or character speaking. Editing, the main thing we look at is fast and slow editing, and then mise-en-scène is everything you see on screen. So it could be body language, colour, costume, the placement of objects, the proximity of them to each other. So those are the 4 things that you must cover when it comes to film language. Now then, so what I'd like you to do is pause the video and tell me what are the shot types and angles with these films then. Pause the video. Okay, so top left we have a mid shot with a slight low angle looking up at Superman, okay, showing it kind of like his power pose. You've got the S in the middle of the screen, etc. On the right hand side you have Harry Potter in a high angle shot looking down at him from the Dementor's perspective, showing him in a position of weakness. You've got the third one with the 2 men, and it's a low angle shot looking up at them, giving them a position of power as they take the guns out of the vehicle. You have the establishing shot from Game of Thrones for the 4th one, where it's in the distance, so you can see kind of the threatening location that's there. In the next one, you have a close-up shot of Will Smith. I can't remember what film this is from. Might be Gemini Man, I'm not sure. So you have Will Smith in a close-up shot there, seeing him look off screen, and then I think that's Pulp Fiction again, with an extreme close-up shot of a watch. Okay, we're also looking down at the watch, showing our focus on it. If you're looking down at an object, it doesn't usually suggest that it's in a position of weakness. It just happens to be that it would look really strange if you had a shot looking up at this watch instead. Okay, so we have mid shot, mid-high shot, low mid shot. You have establishing shot, close-up shot, and then high extreme close-up. Alright, so what are the 2 types of lighting then? They are low-key and high-key. On the left-hand side you have the high-key lighting, which is more realistic, but it's also quite jovial and pleasant to look at, hence the comedy. And on the right-hand side you have low-key lighting, showing the threatening danger that's there. Okay, next then, so what I'd recommend you do now then is pause the video and go watch these 2 videos. One's from CinemaSins and one's from How It Should Have Ended. Both are pretty good recaps on what happens in District 9, and it's something varied rather than just talking through the plot. So pause the video and go watch those first. Okay, so you should have a fair good recap in your head of what happens in the film, and also hopefully you might have had a little bit of a laugh because some of it's quite funny. All right, let's move on then. So YouTube links were there, but you can Google them. Anyway, so we're going to be analysing the MNU attack scene together then. So we're going to look at this shot of Tanya and Vickers' wife, and we're going to look at all of the aspects of film language then. Okay, so we'll do this one together. You can copy the notes if you want to, but you don't have to. All right, so first things first. Body language and acting. Miserable body language, facing towards a sick child, hand on head implies she's defeated. She's got a bit of a vacant expression. If we go back, you can see what I'm talking about. And then, with colour, you have a blue costume to blend in with the patient standing behind her. I've written behind twice for some reason. Behind her. White it represents the innocence, makes up a big proportion of the screen. She is the innocent one in this situation. She's got quite a lot of innocence going on, which represents her naivety. Okay. Next you have cinematography, the low positioning of the camera. You'll notice it's not a low angle, it just happens to be that the camera is on the floor more or less and shows her low emotions and status because of her obliviousness. She doesn't know what's going on, so she is low just like the camera is. The shot is divided into 2, Tanya on one side and a sick child on the other. And the next bit, so if you flick back to that, you can see what I'm talking about. And the next one, sound then. So we have generic hospital sounds give a sense of realism. District 9, although it's a sci-fi film, has a sense of realism all through it, particularly with the documentary style and with the frenetic camera style. But the sounds do that as well. The generic hospital sounds that you always hear when you're there. Lighting then, so you have high key lighting showing how it exposes to the world, showing the exposure to the world and how that everyone knows Vickers' secret. So you have high key lighting, everything has been revealed to everybody except Tanya. Okay, the audience knows what's going on, Emma and you know what's going on, but she doesn't. And then the final one, we have costumes and setting. So the costume is overbearing as it covers a whole body, very little skin, and therefore very little self is presented. So it shows that she's not really showing her emotions, and which kind of links to the vacant expression that we saw earlier. The other thing is costumes are plain and realistic. Now, if I go back to that then, so the blue kind of overwhelms her, which gives a sense of the misery and sadness and connects to the characters behind her. And also it covers her body. She doesn't want anything revealed. Perhaps she has her own secrets to be revealed as well. Alright, so those are the 6 elements from that particular shot. I want you to do the same for one of the 2 shots that are in front of you in a second. So I want you to look at body language and acting, colour, cinematography, sound, lighting, costumes and setting. Okay, I would like you to complete this table with one of these 2 shots. So you've either got the shot on the top left, looking behind Christopher's shoulder and from Vickers' point of view, or we've got the close-up shot of Christopher looking at the dead alien. I would like you to pick one of these shots and spend 10 to 15 minutes filling in your table. Okay, so pause the video and fill in this table of body language, acting, colour, cinematography, sound, lighting, costumes and setting with one of these shots. Okay, now that you've done that, you are going to be writing an analysis, a 6-pedal analysis of each of them. What I've focused on here, what I've given you an example of, is a pedal of cinematography from the shot that we looked at with Tanya. Okay, so how does the director Blomkamp use cinematography in District 9 to affect the audience? This is our model then. Blomkamp uses effective cinematography to show Vickers' with a C, not supposed to have a C, to show Vickers' relationship with his wife and set up the danger he is in. This is shown by the low shot of Vickers' wife in the hospital being used as an establishing shot. The director has included this to portray her distance from the situation and to establish the frightening situation. Audiences would be sympathetic towards Vickers' condition and towards his wife being left with no information about her husband's situation. This shot gives us a new perspective on the Vickers as a family man, someone with loved ones who will miss him. So that is one analysis based on a 6-box general overview that we put together. Now you've done your own 6-box one. I would like you to create a 6-pedal analysis, so 1 pedal for body language and acting, 1 for colour, 1 for cinematography, 1 for sound, 1 for lighting, and 1 for costumes and setting, based on the shot that you chose. Okay, I could have made 6, but obviously I'm the teacher, you're the student, you guys can do the most of it. Okay, so I'd like you then to create the 6 pedals. So I did cinematography there. I would like you to create the 6 pedals based on the shot that you chose and based on the table that you've created. This should take you about half an hour, okay, to do the 6 pedals. Remember, P is for point, make a point, answer the question. Evidence is the E. D is director's reason. So what are the inferences you can take from these examples? The A is the audience. So how does the audience react to what are they seeing on screen? And the L is the link. So link it either back to the question or to the context. I don't really mind. The link is there just to kind of make a conclusion to whatever you've been writing. So I'd like 6 pedals written about one of these shots. Okay, should take you about half an hour. Okay, that is the last and final activity I would like you to do. And this is the last video for District 9. There is another activity I want you to be completing, but this is the final thing, the final big thing that I want you to complete. Okay, pause the video, half an hour, off you go.